Moji family, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kevin Moore, Master Distributor of MojiLife. Tonight I have the man himself with us, the MojiLife CEO, Darin Davis.
Hello.
We're really excited to be with you tonight because, in case you haven't heard, we've got something very exciting, very revolutionary, very progressive, just all the things that we're going to be sharing with you tonight. And that's the advancement of our flagship product, the thing that started it all, that little device that made such a big impact, the AirMoji. Now, I think it's history in the making because when I was talking to Darin about the fact that I loved that we had this technology-based product at the core of our catalog, I said, you know, it's exciting because you can evolve and advance and progress that. But I said, Darin, I said, the thing that's difficult is this is a category creator. And it's with all due respect to wax warmers or candles or plugins or room sprays or all the different things. We use those things in our home before the AirMoji as well. With all due respect to those categories, which can be kind of clumped into one or maybe the same category, I felt like what we had with this advancement was truly a category creator in a league of its own. And so I said, Darin, if we're going to advance this, who's our competition? And then I said, well, wait a second. It's us. It's us versus us. Because the competition for the AirMoji 2 is the AirMoji 1. The AirMoji 1 was already head and shoulders above what the other offerings in this space were. It was already on a plateau by itself. And so I love the fact that when I turned to Darin and I said, you know, one of the very first expressions I ever said to him when he brought that concept to me and I first got that prototype was, this is a product evolution that's going to start an industry revolution. Well, Darin, how do we improve upon that?
Well, you nailed it that very day. And how we improve upon that, we kind of need to look at what went on that day, prior to that day. You mentioned it. What did we have in our homes? Room sprays, we had warmers, we had some plugins, things that we used, experimented with, and we came out with something much better. Well, that's innovation. The definition of innovation is taking experimentation, taking research, and using that to propel a subject. Absolutely. And this subject here is the AirMoji. And the AirMoji, what have we been doing for 4 years? We have been studying, researching, listening, using it, and experiencing it.
Yeah, experiencing the fragrance, right?
Yeah.
Experiencing this device and becoming familiar with it and getting feedback from a lot of others who have used it. But I like the analogy you make with your daughter.
Yes, we're all innovators because we're parents. Most of us are. And my daughter is the oldest, and she teases Kim and I and says that we learned and experimented on her parenting. and perhaps we got a little bit better, but kids' definition of being better parents is being easier on the kids probably. But yeah, perhaps she got grounded a little more often. But she's right. I mean, we really did, I think, learn a bit from her, how to manage the next child a little bit better, and so on and so forth. And although Addie's turned out to be an amazing product, maybe we are parenting a little better. And what have we been doing? I feel like we've been raising
kind of raising the AirMoji, right? The AirMoji was like the firstborn. We've been able to raise it. We've been able to experience it. We've been able to see some things that, hey, if we had it all over to do again, right, we might improve upon that or tinker with this or change that. And so I love that analogy because the AirMoji has been a fantastic product.
And it's not the only product that has impacted AirMoji II.
And we've grown in the lineup. We call it the AirMoji lineup. That started with the Mini.
Started with Mini. And of course, the most recent addition is the Mini 2. So we've seen, and I hope that you've seen that we've listened and that we've utilized and we've made some improvement there. But prior to that, there's the M3 and the Moji X. And you will see that coming up, we're going to be talking about the beauty in the device. We're going to be talking about the features in the device and the app. You're going to see that we have taken a little bit from each one of these products, taken the best, and it's been
there's just some ingredients in each of those recipes that came back to this, because even with the addition of some of those great products in the lineup, our focus has always been on the flagship. This has always been the main thing. It is
never in the rearview mirror. It's always been in front
and center.
And of course, you know, the AirMoji has been essential to get us to this point.
Yeah.
And I think that we will all be looking forward to maybe it being in the history.
Yeah.
As wonderful it's been, because you know, the vehicle because really it's the vehicle that drives the speed of MojiLife is AirMoji 2.
And we've got some improvements. And that's the thing, is if it's us versus us, as much as I love the AirMoji, and it was a little device that made a big impact, the AirMoji 2 is going to just push that forward in a big way. So let's start with, I don't like to be superficial, but let's start with the look. Let's start with how beautiful it is and some of those beautiful additions as far as aesthetically, cosmetically, in design, the way it looks. Because one of the things too, Darin, is we've talked a lot about this. We wanted to stay true, you know, improve upon the things that needed improved upon, but stay true to the things that defined us. And one of the things that truly defined us was just the way that the AirMoji looked as far as aesthetically. So we stayed true to that brand.
So Kevin, you mentioned aesthetics and cosmetics of the device, and I'm happy to take that chapter of this presentation because, you know, in fact, the AirMoji 2 inspired the whole accent line, and it did it because stepping up the aesthetics of the device, we needed to do that with the accent line and have them, you know, more work together. It looks, we have thought everything through. You know, our fragrance device and the beauty of it has a whole line to work in your home to accentuate the beauty in your home, and that's what that is a problem to solve, frankly, is having devices that look great and aesthetics they look great with and fit with and are made for. Who else does that? No one. No one else does that. And you're right. You're right when you said it's us versus us. And so I want to just start with the neoprene case. And we started with, I mean, this had to be beautiful, down to the Pantone color of the zipper, to the case design in a molded high density foam where there was a die made, a cast mold made just to have the logo in and to be shaped properly and beautifully. The case brought it together. And also, you know, we've added a gray color to the lineup, and really black and white have been, you know, something we've been pretty committed to, keeping it to that line and that color line. But with AirMoji 2, we stretched our thinking, our acceptance and openness to maybe one more color, and we're really excited about the gray. The gray not only is a beautiful color in the gray tones that we have with our brand, but the cord and the plug, now that we're a bigger company, we can actually justify matching cord and plug with the color, and that was exciting in itself, is to have all of that match and work well together. And so but another feature of beauty, the LED band. You know, I actually had Mikkel in the office with the device testing for a few days, and she just told me, I just can't not have the LED band on. I love it, and it adds to the style. And you know, in fact, my kids in my truck, We have a boat. There's LED lights through these through the vehicle and the boat. My kids dig that and like that and talk about that as much as anything. But it really does. It brings beauty. The LED band is 2.5 millimeters. We wanted it to be just enough where it doesn't take away from already a beautiful device, but to be just a highlight, and the highlight highlights it. And so the LED band works really, really well. We also just, the back of the device where the air vents are for the airflow, really we tested and we looked at many different shapes, and these square vents I think add to the beauty of the device. I think you will too. And we're really we're very excited about how the finish came about on the plastic. The actual finish is done in the mold, and we went through really studying that into where it will make the plastic look and feel the quality that it really is, because there is more that we put into the plastic. And when we talk about the features, we'll talk a little bit more on why we made some adjustments to the plastic. The white device, you know, I love the new white. The new white is, we worked with this plastic. It's a pearly, off-white color. I really, really do love how the color turned out, and how we put a lot of effort into where the light will not bleed on the white like it really does on the other devices. The white it's very hard to control bleed, and with much effort we've been able to control that with this white. And in fact, when we even actually sat down with our factory and spec'd out where at what points, when they get to that finishing stage, they have to handle the product with gloves. And we want that opening experience to be beautiful too. And it really is a beautiful opening experience of the device. And the bottom of the device now has a lot of beauty and attention paid to it, with the nice screen print that will not scratch off, the clear, very clear to see what the features are on the device and understand, easily to read. All of this is adding to the beauty of the device. And so, and Kevin often, you know, comments about this new device has beauty and brains, and he really would like to have his section be on the brains, and we thought it was just fitting that I cover the beauty. So anyway, let's see. I'm eager to listen to Kevin and his coverage of the brains.
Darin just got done introducing you to some of the beauty enhancements of the AirMoji 2. It's my pleasure to show you some of the brains. The AirMoji 2 app is almost deserving of a separate launch. That's how much it's progressed and improved. MojiLife has just made smart so much more user-friendly and simple. This is on the iPhone. This is a beta app. You'll see a couple of the reasons why. I'll point those out. It's merely cosmetics at this point, but I love this app and I can't wait to show you what it does. This is the first screen when you select the app, when you need to add a device. Now remember that the AirMoji 2 has two modes. Manual mode, which is the default mode when you turn it on. You hold the button for 3 seconds, and that power button, when it turns on, you're in manual mode, which means everything operates from the switches at the bottom of the device. But for the app's sake, we want to go to smart mode, which means we push that power button a second time and it's ready to pair with Bluetooth and connect to the app. So I'm going to do that and we're going to connect. Now, a couple things to notice here is when it says available devices, it brings up AirMojis. It's Bluetooth. It's going to pick up AirMoji 1s, but it's only compatible with AirMoji 2s. So I'm going to select AirMoji 2. It connects. I can see my device blink 3 times. And now you'll see one of the reasons it's in beta mode. Obviously, these photos are just mock-ups. You'll have nice high resolution photos of the Emoji 2 there when you get the finished product. I'm going to come here and I'm going to customize my name. It gives me some suggestions, bedroom, bathroom. I'm going to call this one office. And because we have 3 beautiful colors, I'm going to select the color that my device is. It's white, and I select add device. But before we actually go into the control hub for the AirMoji 2 that we have connected, I want to show you how great the feature is, how simple and clean it is to add another device. I'm going to select add another device. You'll see the paired device I have, which is the office. You'll see another AirMoji 2 that I have in pairing mode show up. I'm going to push that. And I can see my AirMoji 2 now blinking 3 times to let me know it's going to connect to the new device. I'm going to now name this bedroom. And this one is black, so I'm going to add that device. Now, how great is that? Just very clean and sleek. You can see that the one that I'm now connected to is now highlighted, but the other one that's still available is now there as well, but it's kind of grayed out or dimmed. If I wanted to go back and forth between the two, I can. It's very clean, very sleek, great design. And now the office one is blinking again, indicating it's connecting to that, and there you go. So that's a great upgrade. Now let's actually go in and see what this thing is capable of. Now you're at the actual control menu for the AirMoji 2. And there's a couple things I want to point out here very quickly. You can see at the top, you have battery and fan speed. Those are grayed out because those are for information's sake only. They're just going to give you a status of how much battery percentage you have and if your fan speed is off, if it's low or if it's on high. Below those, you see the white tabs, which have an arrow. Those indicate that those are adjustable or can be controlled, okay? So those are the ones where we actually can customize our fragrance on demand. I'm gonna hit schedule, and look how beautiful that is. You've got the schedule set, and if I want to actually change the dates, it's as simple as pressing the button, and when that button has a circle around the date, then that's going to be active. If that circle is subtracted, then that's going to be a date that's not included in our schedule. Start time, you simply press that and you have this great dial come up. Very sleek, very simple, beautiful design. If I want to change at the 7 a.m., it's as quick as toggling that over. If I want to end it at 8 p.m., same thing. Very simple. I know some of you are going to miss military time, but we have AM and PM, and it's very, very simple. I can go to intervals. Now I want to show you intervals. These are very custom. You can have always on, 15 minutes on, 30 minutes off, 30 minutes on, 30 minutes off, 30 minutes on, 60 minutes off, and the old standby that we're used to, the 60 minutes on, 60 minutes off. But this is what I love, custom. If you want this to be, and you can play with it. I mean, this is Moji by the minute. If I want to have this as 16 minutes on and 4 minutes off, I can do that exact customized fragrance on demand right to my schedule. I can change my fan speed simply by toggling to the right, that's high, toggle to the left, and that's low. I'm going to go high, and then I'm going to push this green check mark. There you go. I am locked and loaded, and that's the schedule. I can set multiple schedules, but it's so simple, it's so user-friendly, so easy to navigate, and I'm ready to go. So now let's go with it. Let's explore some other options. Now that we see the scheduling is easier than ever, it's just so perfectly programmed. Let's go on and check out some of these other features that have been added. So I'm going to simply X out of this active schedule. It takes me back to my control panel, and you'll see the LED control board there. Now I love this because we've already been so great when it comes to our delivery system and the sense of smell, but now I believe the AirMoji 2 is a multi-sensory experience. Now we're going to be able to enjoy every moment with a little bit of visual aid as well. So I'm going to push LED, and you'll see that I have different LED settings. I love this because night mode
is simply going to be a nightlight, and it doesn't have to be in congruent nature with the fan. I can have the fan off and I can have night mode on to where I can add some ambience as a nightlight. Now maybe I want to put a pod in there like Air Plus Lavender or Air Plus Immune, something that's going to be great to have aid in sleep. I can do that, and I can set my schedule and have night mode run at the same time and enjoy both of those aspects. But if I want the light to come on and the fan not to be on, I have the capabilities of doing that as well. I can just come here and I can add my night mode start time, and I'm going to add this to, let's say, 11:30 p.m. to start, and I'm going to end it, maybe I'm going to end it at 4:30 a.m. And now I can even adjust how bright I want that LED to be. When it comes to that night mode option, I'm going to go all the way to the top, and I select that green check mark, and it tells me I have success. And so night mode is a great option that's new to the AirMoji 2. We all know the power of fragrance and how it helps with moods, memories, and moments. The AirMoji 2 expands upon that with chromotherapy, which is the science of color. I can hit a preset, hit an information tab, and it's going to give me a little bit about why that interval has those particular colors. This is a lot of fun. It helps expand the experience of enjoy every moment. I'm going to keep it on party though, because we're having a party launching this brand new device. But this is a fun element that comes with the AirMoji 2. And I can also even adjust the brightness of each of these presets as well. So very custom experience. Okay, last but not least with the LED setting, I want to show you the control and power you have right at your fingertips. I'm going to take it off of the preset of party, and it's going to illuminate my color wheel. And now let's say I want it to be green. I'm going to take it all the way down to green. Now if I stay on the inside of that circle, as you can tell by the diagram, it's going to be more of a white gradient. It's going to have a little bit more white tone. It's going to be lighter. The further outside to the wheel I get, the darker and more powerful that color is going to be. I can also adjust here, of course, when it comes to my illumination, but I'm just talking about the actual tone of your color. Okay, and I'm going to push this green check mark, and it tells me success. Now some of you might be thinking, wait a second, you went green, Kevin, and it looks like it's still in purple. Well, purple is my night mode. That's where I'm going to have my night light. If I exit out of here, you see that green is what I'm actually having active right now, and that's exactly what my device is doing. I can toggle it on and off right here. So this is a beautiful custom element of your LED settings, but maybe I want to go even more custom. Well, let me show you how you can do that. Perhaps I have a client who's a small business owner. Maybe they own a tanning salon or a boutique, and they want to match the LED band directly to their brand. Well, I can do that with the hex code option. I'm going to come here, and let's say I've got a friend who owns a hair salon and her logo is orange. I go to the hex code, I push paste. I've gotten that hex code from her. In this case, I pulled it from Safari. I push OK, and you'll see it went directly to that orange color, which is now going to illuminate when I push the green button. And that success check mark says to me, now I've got an LED that's going to match her brand. So I love this element, and it has a bunch of different applications. Maybe I just want to theme up the AirMoji 2 with a child's birthday party, or I want to theme it up according to the latest holiday that I want to be really festive. But truly the possibilities are endless, and so now you have custom color at your fingertips. Now, the very final thing I want to show you is, let's X out of this LED setting, and at the bottom there, just above devices, you're going to see a Moji blue button that's called Moji Max. Now I've got an active schedule going on right now with this AirMoji 2. You can see I've got 16 minutes on, 4 minutes off from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. But what Moji Max does, and I love this, Marshall Clark came up with this. He's been a very important part of this process. And it was kind of funny because when he was introducing it to me, he called it the in-law button. And I kind of took a look at him like, whoa, what does that mean? He said, well, you know, we all have in-laws from time to time that just drop in unannounced. And he said, what if my schedule has the AirMoji 2 where it could be that, 4, 5, 6, 10, 15 minutes off. And maybe I just want to say, okay, let's get this house in order as far as at least how it smells. I push the Moji Max button and it tells me, okay, you're going to run the AirMoji 2 at full speed for 2 hours. It's an override button. Regardless of what I've got as far as my schedule, my active schedule, when I push Moji Max, it's going to give me full speed for 2 hours. So now we've covered the beauty and the brains, but there's much more about the AirMoji 2 to show you. So let's dive into some of the features, some of the innovation.
If you've been connected with me for a while, you know that I love features. And the reason I love features is because features lead to advantages. Advantages lead to benefits. And I think benefits is what brings us our future customers. It's what retains our current customers. And it's what entices new teammates to join the Moji family. So in other words, benefits are a very key aspect, maybe the cornerstone of success. And so I want to talk about some of those features, some small, some big, but all applicable to our momentum, okay? So it starts with the case. Beautiful case, very brand specific. I think we can all be very proud of the presentation of this. And you've got your MojiLife logo. It's very on point with the colors. And what I love too is, just like with the Mini 2 case, we've got 3 new colors. We've got a gorgeous gray, right? You have a tassel that is going to be the tassel color of the AirMoji 2 device inside. I also love the fact that we try to be environmentally friendly. We try to make sure that that's something that's on our mind and it's applicable with our products. And so this is also a great reusable case that now we have our own little Moji 6-pack, right? If you have 6 pods that you want to take on the go, you want to maybe bundle it up to where you're gonna take the AirMoji 2 and use it as a present with 6 pods, it becomes very practical, not just the presentation, but in the reusability of it. So I love that functionality. Also with the case, I'm gonna switch over to this one to show you the internal aspect. There's features on the inside that have been thought of as well. I love the fact that with the whole theme of these features, we've thought about how you've used it, how we've used it. This has been a collaboration type of thing. Darin Davis, obviously, as the founder of MojiLife, me, and my intimate exposure with this product for 4+ years. Marshall Clark, who's been very valuable in helping to develop and progress not only the device, but the app. But guess what? We all kind of feel like it's our baby, but it's your baby too, right? You've used it, you've loved it, you've shared it, and we've heard you. We've implemented some of that feedback, and you're gonna see that throughout as I cover these features. But here's a little element, even on the inside, this is just a little bit looser, this band here, and that's because that's going to keep your AirMoji 2 in there nice and secure. This is a little bit more tight, and it's tighter because that's where your plug and your cord's gonna be. Now let's get to we've got the AirMoji 2 out now, right? Let's get to the inside of the tote. The inside of the tote is what gets us all excited. We've got a great presentation, and that presentation continues with this beautiful device. Darin's talked about all the beautiful aspects of it, the different elements that add to the aesthetic beauty of the AirMoji, but I want to talk about some of these features as well. And one of the features that you're going to notice is we added a gorgeous gray, but you're going to see that our white is just a little bit different as well. I'm almost as excited about it. The AirMoji 1, and if it's us versus us, we're comparing to the original, was a very stark white, but I feel like this is more of a luxury white. Luxury fragrances, luxury white. It's kind of ivory or elegant pearl. It's just a little bit of an off-white. It kind of reminds me of a traditional candle, and this is the candle of the future, as I've said for many years, and so it's fitting. But even features that you don't see with this white, the reason that it kind of developed into this new shade or this new hue was partially so that as we add an LED light, you keep a quality experience. That LED light stays in that band and it doesn't bleed into the device. In addition to that, this white has a reflective oil on the inside. And so when you get that LED experience, you have literally a beautiful experience. One where you have the light where you want it and none where you don't. So even aspects like that have been thought out with this AirMoji 2. Now, when I talk about features that have been inspired by the field, I want to show you one of those right now. Get ready for the oohs and ahs. I can't hear you, but do them anyway. You know, at one point, we've all had a situation where we wish that this cap, this barrel attached to the base, either a little looser or a little tighter, right? This is so custom now. A half a degree to the left, just a half a degree, and it pulls right off, okay? Now, I put it back on, and I just twist it to the right. Look at that, locked. I'm gonna shake it for celebration purposes, right? I think that if you think about our core principles, safe, simple, and smart, this now is safer and it's simpler. And it's simpler in the fact that now just a little turn like that can get you on and get you off. But I also think that something that's really important as well is it does have a safety component to it, because we already had the only device that you could turn upside down, no water, no wax, no heat, no flame, right? You can't do this with anything else out there in the market. But now too, if I've got a 2-year-old that wants to come up here and smell the goodness inside, they're not gonna get this off, it's locked. It's almost like a child lock, right? Unless they turn it just ever so slightly a half degree and then it comes off. So keep that secret away from the toddlers. But I love that little feature, and it makes it to where now you have one more aspect of safety, and it's very simple. If you'll notice too on the bottom, it is literally, the footing is more substantial, it's more quality, but it also is a millimeter taller. That's going to help with the airflow. That's all about airflow, getting air up into the AirMoji 2, through that barrel and out where you can enjoy every moment. Also on the inside of the AirMoji 2, we have a new feature, and I want to show you this because I got to give equal time here. I got to make sure that we get the white and the black here for a second. Now, I'm gonna turn this one on as well, but I want you to see something here that is really, really cool about the internal engineering of this barrel. And if I take it off and I show you this, and you probably can't see that very well, so I'm gonna actually cut to a different screen so that you can see that. The AirMoji 1 already had an air channel, okay? But the AirMoji 2 air channel has been improved. And I'm gonna tell you, if you didn't know about the air channel before, the air channel was just an element at the top of the cap that helped encourage and optimize airflow. The AirMoji 2's air channel actually has grooves in there that are actually in the exact same direction as the AirMoji 2 fan, which encourage just the little intricacies of airflow that help optimize the overall experience, because now it's going to create what we like to call a cyclone effect, and it's going to get the air up and in your atmosphere to where you can enjoy in your environment more effectively, okay? So the engineering of this has been well thought out, well implemented, and you're going to see it in the results and the performance. They speak for themselves. But that's the internal aspect of the actual barrel. I want to talk about, just for a moment, the internal aspect of the device itself. Has been much improved, much improved. Every element of these internal components has been a custom mount that's been designed and engineered for security and effectiveness, from the battery to the fan to the boards. One of the things I'm most excited about, very quality in the experience, very quality in the results. Now, Darin mentioned to you that we have those beautiful vents on the back. Now, it's a nice aesthetic element, and it also has a functionality element. But if you'll notice too, now we're at micro USB. And micro USB is just an improvement. One improvement I can tell of you as far as this feature leading to a benefit is if it's us versus us, the original AirMoji, sometimes you'd have just a little bit of resistance, or something would hit that cord and it would fall out, right? It wasn't in there very secure. Micro USB corrects that immediately. Micro USB goes in there a lot more snug, it's a lot more custom, and so we're gonna eliminate that. So another nice benefit. It's just a beautiful device. I'm so excited about the features of the AirMoji 2 because truly what I think that we've done more than any other thing is we've stayed true to safe, simple, and smart. But one of the things that I really love is we were always simple, but now simple is just smarter. And we were always smart, but now smart is simpler. So we've improved upon who we've already been, and I think that that's going to make this, the AirMoji 2, something that absolutely changes the fragrance industry again. You know, when Darin first told me that we were going to turn this imagination into an actual application of a new generation, of course I was giddy, and we started to sit down and have a lot of different conversations. And he said, you know, Kevin, from a field standpoint, and that's what I do, I talk with so many of you so often, it's the thing I love about this business. He said, from a field standpoint, both customers, leaders, new distributors, you know, what's the thing that we really need to hit? Like, what's the bullseye? Where's the precision of the target? I said, well, Darin, I'm super proud of this product. I'm super proud to have represented it since, you know, when it was just a 3D mold, right? But I said, I don't think we should depart from what makes us special. And what makes us special is it's sleek, the way that it looks, it's safe, it's simple, and it's smart. I said, so maybe you can just give us more of those things. But I said, but I have a little bit of a, I guess, further request. I kind of, you know, poke the fun for things. I go, can we make the simple aspect smarter? And can we make the smarter aspect simpler? And, you know, I've gone over the app with you. We nailed it. Bullseye, Darin.
It's
you know, dead center with the fact that we made the smart component of setting a scheduled timer for your fragrance on demand, your chromotherapy, your ambience, your color presets. I mean, literally custom fragrance. We made it so much more simpler. Darin, how did we make simple smarter? And tell us a little bit about how we went about that.
Well, you know, first you have to know what to make, what to attack, and the fact that you and I talk every day, you represent the field so well, you retain what you hear so well. I hope to retain as well as you do when you express it to me. So that's important for the field to know. I do get it all, and hear it all from Kevin. And then on the other side, you know, we brought in Marshall Clark and have his expertise in implementing these. I try to have the advantage of having the you two on each side. I think helped a lot, but some research shows about it's a theory of two is what I called it, and calling it. And the theory of two is it's easier and simpler to remember two topics than 3 and 4. In fact, from 1 to 2, you still, it's 90% of the individuals will remember, it'll drop from 100 to 90% from 1 to 2. But when you go to 3, it goes below 50%.
Wow.
So really with the app that you just covered, you know, you have all of the options. The actual making it simpler, the manual side especially, and the device became more of a need because you have the ends of the world of options with the app. And so really started thinking about the current AirMoji has had 3 button mode settings. And in my opinion, after all this time, that doesn't make as much sense because really the first 2 are manual modes.
Yeah. So
now there's 2 modes with the power button, a manual mode and an app mode. And in manual mode, all that means is the switches on the bottom are what you're dealing with.
Activate the switches, right? So you turn it on and those switches are activated.
And even these switches, Kevin, are 2.
Yeah.
They're in 2s. And so we have an on-off for the LED, and they have a 30 minutes on, 30 minutes off, and always on for the setting, for the fan setting, and then the fan high and low for that switch.
Yeah.
And so the power of two, I think it's going to be much more friendly to remember. I know we've had questions of,
Well, I think it's simple made smarter for sure.
explaining to the first time user,
Yeah.
the first press is this, the second press. Now you're going to be able to educate the first users, I think, much easier.
Yeah, and everything from the power of two that you're talking about with just the two different settings to the two different modes, high low fan, and I even love the fact that when it came to, I think it's much smarter to have the simple function of the setting for the timer to be 30 minutes on, 30 minutes off, compared to all the time, all the time, because 60 minutes off and 60 minutes on. I used that function a lot with the original AirMoji, but 60
it's not
minutes
the
off.
very best.
Yeah, 60 minutes felt like too long
And
to be off.
right. It did, and I would agree with that. And so 30 minute is the most optimum time, and thus the most optimum device from beginning to end.
Yeah.
But I think as we've gone through this, I bet many of you have had that "Have you ever" solved?
Yeah. Right.
That the "Have you ever" questions, and for basically having simple be smarter and smart be simpler. On this topic there actually is some "Have you evers" we haven't really talked about yet, but I'm sure that while using the old device, you've had times where you weren't quite sure which device you were connected to.
Especially when you're a Moji-holic like me and you got 7 devices in the floor, right?
Yeah, so when you look at the device now, and you probably saw this in as Kevin was going through the app, but is the device that is able to connect, that's in Bluetooth mode, that are the ones that are bold, instead of just every one of them being visible. That's one that I know that we've all ran into. But have you ever wanted to look at the device and wondered if that's the one you've been connected to?
Just by taking a look at the device, right?
Yes. So when you connect to the device, the power button blinks 3 times. But the power button also communicates more than just when you turn it on, it blinks 3 times.
Yeah. So that's it. The initial start of the charge.
Yeah. When you plug it into charge, it blinks 3 times. And
you saved the blinking for last. What I think they're going to think is the best, which when it blinks continuously, what's it telling you?
Battery low. Have you ever wondered where that battery is without needing to connect to the app to find out? Yeah. And so the cool thing with the battery, Kevin, is yes, you're warned when the battery's low, but the battery has a chip tied to it called a battery management system, a BMS. Mm-hmm. And that stops the device prior to the battery.
Just a little bit of reserve, right? Just a little bit of juice, even though it turns it off. You got that little bit of reserve.
What problem do you think that solves?
Well, first of all,
what have you ever is that one?
First of all, I can tell you that as you just saw with the app, it's more simple, it's more precise, it's just so convenient to set a schedule now. And that was a little clunky with the original app. It was doable, but a little clunky. And now, the thing is you can just set the schedule so easy. But what if you don't even want to, right? What if you're just like, I don't even want to, I've got my fragrance on demand, I'm particular about it, I've got the schedule, I don't want to have to reset it every time the battery dies. Well, with that little reserved power,
it remembers the schedule completely. And so
that's definitely a smart feature.
Yeah, that is. And so when you power it back on, or when you recharge it back, actually your schedule will still be in the memory of the device still.
Love that.
I think that's one of those that we listened to really solve that problem.
We solved that from both ends, right? Solved it from making it so much more easy to schedule, and then also with that battery reserve just kicking off to add a little bit more juice. It's going to remember the schedule when you plug it back in. You're good to go.
And I just love, hitting it again, just the battery blinking continuously while it's low. I just little things like that is communication needed so much. But
love it. So let's talk about the launch, okay? You're ready. You know, we've talked about all the different features. You know, there's some features we haven't even covered. We just don't have enough time, right? We'll go into some of those things even further down the road, but we've really kind of given you a comprehensive look at this AirMoji 2 and why we're so excited about it, why we couldn't keep our mouth shut on that first Facebook Live. But let's talk about now what you're most excited for. When can you get your hands on it? What the launch is? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about those regulations.
Sure.
And then I'm gonna let the man here. What I think is the maybe the best and most surprising information of all, and we're going to talk about price. Okay, so first of all, it's going to be available like now, right?
Yeah,
Right
I think
now.
about right now.
So it's going to launch in
Available to order.
available to pre-order, and it's going to launch in our black, beautiful, bold, brilliant black, and our new gorgeous gray. Okay, white's a little bit behind. We'll be communicating that. It's a beautiful white, but I love it because we've got the AirMoji 2, you get the new gray, and you get this traditional beautiful black, and we're working hard on getting white. So it will just be the black and the gray to start off with.
Yeah.
Pre-order right now. You can go and pre-order as soon as this event's over. Now, they won't be shipped until
About Valentine's
Day. Wait, hey,
halfway through the month. How about that?
AirMoji 2, will you be our Valentine, right? Let's do it halfway through the month. You're going to fall in love with this device, so it's fitting, right?
Yep.
As with the M3, no Moji Cash on the month that it launches. I think that makes a ton of sense, right? For the month that it launches, no Moji Cash is redeemable. And then, so get through February and March, you can use Moji Cash on the AirMoji 2. Let's talk a little bit, Darin, about the price point. I know
PRV on it.
You know, I know that because I'm telling you right now, it was kind of like Darin's like, you know, like a little Moji genie, you know, and I'm like, oh, I wish it did this, and I wish it did that, and I really wish it did that, and all of a sudden he's granting all these wishes, and I'm like, oh, I wish I would have asked about what the price point was going to be, because now I was like, well, Darin, is it going to be $79.95? And he's like, nope, and I'm like, is it going to be $69.95? And he's like, nope, and I'm like, $59.95? I'm like, for all this? And he said,
Nope, not even that. So we have the PRV is going to be $55.95 on this device, and I even know when I told you that, you actually broke that news to Courtney.
yeah, I told Courtney, I said, hey, listen, I go, don't worry, that the genie didn't like, you know, crawfish us and kind of turncoat on us. It's $55.95. He granted some of these wishes, and one more wish he had in reserve is $55.95. The very first thing that she said was, does that include the case?
Yeah,
She's
that
like,
absolutely includes the case.
yeah, because the case, I mean,
Yeah.
I tell you right now, $55.95, you know, from the AirMoji to that, if you think about that price increase and you think about the new app, that new app experience. Now, that's an important thing that we need to mention.
Yes, the app is only for this device.
This device,
Yes.
it's an
New
AirMoji 2 app. It's for this device. And so that alone, to me, was worth, you know, the price increase. You add the bag, you add the features, the LED, all the things. I'm just grateful, Darin, because I think what we have at $55.95 PRV with this device is literally, it's revolutionary. It's as revolutionary as the product.
I really feel like this is a perceived value of double that.
That's awesome.
This product is amazing. We've been talked about. We've been copied. We've been, you know, this is going to. We're going to continue to lead because of many of these features, because many are going to start to follow again.
Well, we've talked about it, right? And
So-
you could be the originator or you can be the imitator.
Yes.
And something I love about this, and then I'll turn it over to the CEO to bring us home, but I can tell you this right now is when you look at the bottom of that, you're going to see, you know, different certifications for the safety of it. It's beautiful and it's simple, in even the simplicity of the imagery. that's multilingual.
Yeah.
No matter where we
Exactly.
go, I don't care what language you speak, you see the simplicity of that symbolism. The point is driven home. And then that big word right there, patented. On every single flagship product, patented. So we've originated, we've innovated, and I'm excited, Darin.
Me too.
I think we're just absolutely catapulting to a new level.
It is. This is a very exciting time for MojiLife, for all of the MojiLife family to be able to come together and create a new wave to impact the world with, and actually all three of our premiers, Kevin, Lisa, Amy, have said something to me individually that this device is life-changing.
Yes.
And it really is. And the AirMoji II device is life-changing once again to a bigger degree. And I really just want to take this last minute here to thank you. You've been amazing to work with, and to really, I love the word MojiLife family because I feel like we are. I feel like we work really well together, and I just wish you an amazing 2021, and thank you for the amazing 2020, and let's just keep it on together. So
Thank you so much. Appreciate you all.